start with our 12th question. Okay, what does the question says? Show that the equation of the line passing through the origin and making an angle theta with the line y is equal to mx plus c. So according to the question, what does it say? There is one line which passes through origin. Okay, let us take this line which passes through origin. So O is equal to 0, 0. And then the same line makes an angle theta with the another line. Okay, and the equation of that line is y is equal to mx plus c. So let us take it as, so this is a diagram. Okay, I hope this is understood. Now according to this, the given line, what is the given line? The given line is y is equal to mx plus c. Okay, so therefore slope of this line we can write it as m. So we want this line also, correct? And this line passes through what? 0, 0. So we know the point. We can go with the slope intercept form, or we can go with the point slope form. Okay, if I'm using a point slope form, accordingly it is y minus y1 equals to m into x minus x1. Okay, now here what is x and x1? We can mark this and this. Okay, x and x1 and y1. Okay, 0, 0. If you substitute over here, it will be what? Y minus 0 is equal to m into x minus 0. That means this becomes y is equal to mx. So here m is going to be the slope of the new line. So if you rearrange and write, we will be getting y by x is equals to m. So this is going to be our major relation which we are going to use in the final answer. Is theta. So therefore we can write slope as what? Tan theta, correct? So we have two slopes here, m and capital M. We can make it m1 and m2 also, but we'll take it as m and capital M. Okay, so now let us continue with this. So what is tan theta? Slope formula. So slope formula we can write it as tan theta is equals to modulus of m1 minus m2 divided by 1 plus m1 m2, correct? So this formula we are going to use here. M1 and m2s are m and capital M. So if I'm using that formula, so what happens? It just will be tan theta is equals to modulus of, since if I remove this modulus, what I'll be getting? If I remove the modulus, so I'll be getting tan theta is equals to, it becomes plus or minus capital M minus small m divided by 1 plus capital M and small m. Now we are going to make it into two cases. Okay, so let us go with the case 1. So in the case 1, what I will do, I will take it as positive. Okay, let us go with the positive sign. If I take positive sign, it will be tan theta is equals to, go for a cross multiplication, I'll be getting, so let us arrange all the capital M's one side and the other things on the other side. Okay, if I do that, I'll take m to the other side. Okay, minus m to the other side becomes plus m. That is m plus tan theta is equal to m minus, okay, this m, and I'm transposing this, so m minus m tan theta. I will take m common here. So if I take m common, what is left? 1 minus m tan theta. So now I will transpose it to the other side. So therefore what I will get? I'll get capital M is equals to m plus tan theta by 1 minus m tan theta. Okay, this I will get when I take it as positive. Okay, in case if I go with the negative sign, so let me solve it beside only, so it will be easy for us to compare. Okay, so in the second case, what I'm going to do, I will take case 2. In the case 2, I will take negative sign. If I take a negative sign, what happens? It is tan theta is equal to minus m divided by 1 plus capital M and M. So now I'll take it to the other side. Now again same procedure. We are going to bring all the m's one side, capital M's one side, and the things to the other side. So in that case, what I can do here, so now I'll take m common here. If I take m common, it is 1 plus m tan theta is equals to m minus tan theta. So if I transpose it to the other side, again I'll be getting. Now you can compare here. See, here we have a plus, here we have minus, here we have minus, and here we have plus. So if you compare based on that, what answer will get? Y by x is equals to y by x. Y by x is equals to, see, both are answers, correct? So both the answer we are going to write together. Here plus and here minus. So first is plus, then is minus. So while writing, what will you do? M plus first minus later tan theta divided by, over here, minus first and plus later. So it will be 1 minus plus m tan theta. Okay, that's all. Question number 13. In what ratio the line joining minus 1 comma 1 and 5 comma 7 is divided by the line x plus y is equals to 4? So according to the question number 13, okay, there is one line which joins the points A minus 1 comma 1 and B 5 comma 7. Okay, in between there is one line. Okay, there is one line like this. Okay, and the equation of this line is x plus y is equals to 4. This line, it divides AB into two parts. Okay, so we need to find what ratio it divides. So in this case, if you observe, what happens, the point P, x comma y, it is the coordinate of the line AB as well as this particular line. Correct? Let us make it as CD. Okay, so P is the common solution for both the lines. So what we are going to do, we need to find ratio of division of this particular line. Correct? So we will apply a ratio formula for the line AB. So what is the ratio formula? This you discussed in the 10th standard. Now from the given coordinates, we need to identify x1, y1, x2, y2, correct? So let us substitute here, okay? So if I find x and y in terms of k, means that is automatically the solution of this particular line. So let us do that. So x is equals to, now it is x coordinate is 5k minus 1 by k plus 1, y coordinate is 7k plus 1 by k plus 1. We are going to substitute this in the equation CD. Okay, so that is our third part. Okay, why we are going to do that? Because that is the solution. So now we know that the denominators are same. So for that, so what we will do, we will just take an LCM as it is. So that will give 5k minus 1 plus 7k plus 1 divided by k plus 1 equals to 4. Take k plus 1 for the other side. 7k plus 5k. 5k plus 7k will give me 12k, minus plus cancels. Okay, so is equals to 4 into k plus 1, which will give 12k is equal to 4k plus 4. Now arrange it. 12k minus 4k is equals to 4. That means 8k is equals to 4. K is equal to 4 by 8. So therefore k is equals to what? 1 by 2 is what? 1:2. Okay, that's an answer. Let us solve question number 14. That is, find the distance of the line 4x plus 7y plus 5 is equals to 0 from the point 1, 2 along the line 2x minus y is equals to 0. So according to the question, there is one line. So let me write question. Okay, there is one line. Okay, and equation of this line is 4x plus 7y plus 5 is equals to 0. Okay, and through this there is one more line, and these two lines will intersect at point P, whose coordinates we don't know, that is x comma y. Equation of this line is 2x minus y is equal to 0. Now what actually they are asking is, find the distance of this line from a point Q. Okay, let us label it as Q, and coordinates of this point is 1, 2. Okay, and this distance we need to find. So what was the question? The line 2x minus y passes through this point and intersects the other line, correct? And it intersects at point P. But we want to find distance from the point Q to P. Okay, so to find this, we need this common solution. Okay, we know that if I want to find distance between P and Q, means I need coordinates of P, x comma y, which is a common solution for the equation 4x plus 7y plus 5 and 2x minus y. So well, let us solve this equation. Okay, equation 1 and equation 2. So in this equation, let us go for cancellation of y. To cancel y, I'll multiply this equation by 7 and I'll transpose this 5 to the other side. So if I do that, so that is the solution of x. So let us find y. So for that, we are going to substitute x in equation 2. So equation 2 is a smaller equation. It will be easy for us to solve. So now we need to find distance between the points P and Q. If I square them both, I'll be getting 529 by 324 plus 529 by 81. So what I will do, I know that 529 is a perfect square and it is 18 square. So 81 already we have in this. Let me take 529 by 81 common. So then what is left here? Here 1 by 4 is left and here 1 is left, correct? Now further simplification, 529 by 81 will going to be a perfect square. So we can take it out. That is 23 will go out. And this 4 ones are 4, 4 plus 1, 5, correct? So this becomes root 5. And here we have a denominator 4. So when you take a root of 4, it is 2. And root of 81, it is 9. So 9 into 2 is 18. So divided by 18. So this much of units. Okay, that's it. Now the question number 15. Find the direction in which a straight line must be drawn through the point minus 1, 2 so that its point of intersection with the line x plus y is equal to 4 may be at a distance of 3 units from this particular point. So for this, let's understand the question first. So it is question number 15. So here we have one line. Let me draw a rough diagram just to give an idea. Okay, let us understand this question now. See, there is a line x plus y is equals to 4 and there is one point minus 1, 2. So there is a this point is at a distance of 3 units from the line. That means if you closely observe, there are two possible distances, right? In generally, if we take, see, we can go this way also, we can go this way also, and we can go this way. There are many distances we can take. So what we'll do, let us consider one particular distance. Okay, we don't know which point in this is correct. So and we need to find a line passing through this line, passing through this particular point, and we need the direction of that. That means what? Whether the line is going perpendicular to this line, or whether the line is going parallel to this line, or how the line is drawn, that we need to find. So for that, basically we need a slope, correct? To get the slope, we need 2 points actually, correct? So for that, 1 point already we know. We want the another point. But one thing they had told that this point and this line, the distance between this line and this point is 3 units, correct? So let me take one point over here as B. Okay, I can take it as x comma y, but better we'll go with the h comma k, because already we have x plus y is equal to 4. It becomes same type of equation. Okay, now this point is actually a point on this line, correct? So therefore this point verifies this equation. So we will take it as, let the distance between the point A and point B is given, correct? That is 3 units. Okay, so since this is distance, we can apply distance formula, that is x1 y1 x2 y2. Okay, now here one problem we have, what is that? H comma k, two different variables, right? So we can, with the help of this equation, we can make it one equation with the same variable. Okay, how is that? You see, coordinates of A already we know, -1 comma 2, and coordinates of B becomes h comma 4 minus h. Now I'm going to use this in the distance formula. So let us mark this as equation number 2. Then 1 plus 4. Okay, now this is, okay, 1 plus 4 will give you 5, and minus 4h and plus 2h will give you minus 2h, and this is 4 plus 1 is 5, and bring this 9 to the other side. So you get minus 9 equal to 0. If I simplify this, 2h square minus 2h and minus 4 is equal to 0. So let us take case 1. In the case 1, I will take h as 2. So by equation 2, what I will get? K is equal to 4 minus 2. That is, K is equals to 2. So therefore, the point which I'm getting over here is, when h is 2, K is also 2. Now let us see if the line passes through this point and this point. Okay, then what will be the type of line or direction of line we'll get? So let us find the slope. Okay, so to find the slope, I'm taking point 2 comma 2. Okay, this another point is that -1 comma 2. So what do we get slope here? M is equal to y2 minus y1, correct? 2 minus 2 divided by -1 minus 2. So I'll be getting 0 by -3, which is 0. Okay, so if the slope is 0, that means what? The line is parallel to which axis? X axis. So therefore we can say line is parallel to x axis. Now we have left with one more case. So let's work on the case. Let us see what case 2 gives. So when you take case 2, I'm taking h as -1. That means k is equal to 4 minus of -1. That means 4 plus 1, which gives you 5. So k is 5 here. So therefore, what is the point? The point becomes -1 comma 5. Now let us see the slope of this. Okay, to find the slope of this, now this point and this point we are taking. So if I take that, so minus 1 comma 5, and we are taking minus 1 comma 2. So here what happens to the slope? Slope is y2 minus y1, right? So it is 2 minus 5 divided by minus 1 plus 1. So I'll be getting minus 3 by 0, which is not defined. Correct. So therefore what we can say, the line is, we can say the line is parallel to y-axis. Therefore what we can say, the line is parallel to x-axis or maybe parallel to y-axis. So anything is possible. Okay. Let's work on question number 16. The hypotenuse of a right angle triangle has its ends at the points 1, 3 and minus 4, 1. Find the equation of the legs, means the sides of a triangle, of the triangle which are parallel to the axis. That means lines are, the other sides of the right triangles are parallel to the axis. Okay, let us construct the diagram for that. The one of the coordinate is this. Okay, let us label it as A, which is minus 4, 1. Another coordinate is 1, 3. So 1 here and the point over here. Let us label it this as B. It is 1, 1. Now according to the question, this is the hypotenuse. This is the hypotenuse. Okay. So now if we construct we can construct two right angle triangles. Okay. So if I take this, so let us mark this point as C. The coordinates of these points are 1, 1. And there is one more possible over here. So we can take, so this point, let us mark it as D, which is x-axis is minus 4, y-axis is 3. So we have got two right angle triangles. In these two right angle triangles, what you can see is, we can see the parallel lines, correct? Now you see BC is parallel to y-axis and AD is also parallel to y-axis. AC is parallel to x-axis and DB is parallel to x-axis. And according to this, so therefore we can find the equations now very easily, correct? Now see, if I take BC is parallel to which axis? Y-axis. So therefore we can take x is equals to 1. And if I take AC, so AC is parallel to x-axis. That means I can write y is equal to 1. It is one pair, correct? And one more possible pair. Okay, and there is one more possible pair. What's the one more possible pair? Now let us take point D. If I take point D, here BD is parallel to which axis? X-axis. If BD is parallel to x-axis, what will be the equation of line? Y is equal to 3. Now if I go with the AD, now here AD is parallel to y-axis. That means what I can take? X is minus 4. So these are the possible equations of the line. Let's work on question number 17. Find the image of the point 3, 8 with respect to the line x plus 3y is equal to 7, assuming the line to be a plane mirror. So let us understand this question. According to this question, there is one line like this. Okay. And this is a plane mirror. Okay. This line is represented by an equation, that is x plus 3y is equal to 7. This is point P and the coordinates of that point P is 3, 8. Okay, now if this line acts as a mirror, means the image of this point will be on the other side of the mirror, or we can say inside the mirror. Okay, say for example, let me draw a line. Okay, say like this. Okay, now this is going to be the image. So let us mark image as Q, and we don't know the coordinates of this. Let us mark it as H comma K. And this is the point where we'll mark it as M. Okay, now here the line joining PQ and say for example this as AB are perpendicular, correct? They make an angle 90 degree. And remember, the distance of the object from the mirror and the image from the mirror remains the same. That means what? We can say this is equal to Z. So therefore M can be a midpoint of PQ. So first concept we are going to use is AB is perpendicular to the line PQ. Okay, now what is equation of AB? So can we get the slope of this line? So let's label it as M1, that is minus A by B, which gives you what? Minus 1 by 3 is the slope of x plus 3y minus 7. Now we need equation for PQ, correct? So we know the slope and we know that AB and PQ are perpendicular. So let me find equation of PQ. So we are going to use the formula point slope form, okay? Because point we know and slope we know, correct? Then we can find it. Since PQ perpendicular to AB, the slope M2 becomes what? It is minus 1 by M1, correct? That means what? Minus of 1 by minus 1 by 3. So therefore I can say slope of the line PQ is going to be 3. Y minus y1 equal to M into x minus x1. Okay, what is x1 and y1 here? Here x1 comma y1, we can write this as is equals to point P, which is 3 comma 8. Okay, let us frame the equation. That is y minus 8 is equals to M is 3 into x minus 3. If I solve it further, and this equation is of the line PQ. Now since line AB and PQ meet at point M, if I solve equation 1 and equation 2, I'll be able to get the coordinates of point M, correct? So let's work on that. So now we got the coordinates of point M. So M is 1 comma 2. Now we know that M is the midpoint of PQ as we discussed before, because distance of point P from the M and image Q from the M are equal, correct? So M is the midpoint. So now we are going to apply. Here we are going to use P as M. That is 1 comma 2 is equals to, if I split and solve it, here H plus 3 by 2 is equals to 1, because x coordinate is equal to x coordinate, and then k plus 8 by 2 is equals to 2. If you solve it further, you will get h is equal to minus 1 and k is equals to minus 4. So therefore q is minus 1 comma minus 4. Now this is the image of the point. Let us solve question number 18. Now what does it say? If the lines y is equal to 3x plus 1 and 2y is equal to x plus 3 are equally inclined to the line y is equal to mx plus 4, find the value of m. So what actually they're saying is we have one line. Okay, this is the line. The equation of this line is y is equals to mx plus 4. And to this line, there are two lines which are parallel. Sorry, not parallel. They are inclined. So they are making an angle. They are making equal angle with it. Now, since they are having equal angle, they are making an equal angle with the line y is equal to mx plus c. We can go with the tan theta formula. To use this, we need a slope of the lines, correct? So for that, let us find the slope of the line. To find slope of the line, let us label these lines as A. So if I take a line AB, equation of line AB is y is equal to mx plus 4. So slope of this will be m. If I take a line CD, y is equals to 3x plus 1. The slope is 3. If I take line EF, y is equal to 2y is equal to x plus 3, right? So I'll take y, I'll transpose to other side directly, okay? I'll get 1 by 2x plus 3 by 2. The slope of this is 1 by 2. So we have three different slopes here. First equation, second equation, and third equation. And first slope, second slope, third slope. All these are slopes. Now we are going to apply this particular formula. Now how we have got is, now for this, we have taken these two. Okay, because this line makes an angle theta with this line. Same way for this part of the equation, we have taken these two because this line makes an angle theta with this particular line. So now these two are equal because both are making the same angle. So tan theta remains equal. So let us simplify it further. Now I need to remove the modulus. To remove the modulus, I need to take plus or minus sign, correct? So therefore I can write this as since we have got m square is equal to minus 1. So what happens here? M becomes plus or minus root of minus 1, which is a not real number. So this is positive is not possible. It is not possible. Okay, because this becomes an irrational, this becomes a non-real number. Okay, now let us go for the case 2. It will come as 7m square minus 2m minus 7 is equal to 0. So now we need to find the value of m. So it cannot be split because roots are irrational. So we'll go with the quadratic formula. So next what we can do, we can take common here because 100 into 2, right? It becomes 2 plus or minus 10 root 2 divided by 14. Further simplification, we will be getting 1 plus or minus 5 root 2 by 7. So that is the value of m. Okay. Let's solve question number 19. If sum of the perpendicular distances of variable point px comma y from the lines x plus y minus 5 is equal to 0 and 3x minus 2y plus 7 is equal to 0 is always 10, show that P must move on a line. So that means what actually they are going to say, they are saying is there are two lines. Okay, there are two lines like this. Okay, these are the two different lines, and there is one point P here. Okay, now distance of these lines from this point P is 10. That means if I say this is A and this is B, and the sum of this distance, that means let me say this as D1 and D2, the sum of these two is 10 units. According to the question, we need to show that this point moves on this particular line. That means I need to show that APB is a straight line. Okay, by using the distance formula, I need to frame an equation of line. So if I do that, then I can say that APB is a straight line. Let us work on that now. Now these are the equations. So now we are going to apply distance formula over here. Okay, let us say this is D1 and this is D2. So related to this equation, so accordingly I can write modulus of so since we need to remove this modulus sign, so the sign changes to plus or minus x plus y minus 5 divided by root 2 plus or minus 3x minus 2y plus 7 by root 13, which is equals to 10. Now what we are going to do is we'll take an LCM here. If we take an LCM, so we will get this as, so now if we open the bracket, we get x terms and y terms, correct? So what I'm going to do in this case is I'm going to keep plus or minus root 13 in the bracket. I'm not going to open it. Okay, then we'll arrange this in the standard form. If I'm able to arrange the standard form, that means what? It's going to be a line. So I should not be getting any quadratic term or a cubic term. I should have a linear term only. Means variables x and y should have a power 1. It should not be more than that. Okay, let us solve this. Now if you closely observe in this case, now you can see this is coefficient of x, coefficient of y, and the constant c, which is equals to 0. So it is in the form of ax plus by plus c is equal to 0. That means what we have got? We have got a straight line, right? It became an equation of a straight line. So therefore what we can say? The point P moves along the line. So therefore the distance, sum of the distance remains same, but it can move here and there. So for example, if take in the middle 5 plus 5, if I take over here, it is 8 plus 2, like that. Okay, and also this distance moves horizontally like this also we can consider. Okay, that's what it means. Now let's work on question number 20. Find the equation of the line which is equidistant from parallel lines. 9x plus 6y minus 7 is equal to 0. 3x plus 2y plus 6 is equal to 0. So according to this question, question number 20, there are two parallel lines. Okay, let me draw like this. This is one parallel line. It is another parallel line. So we need to draw another parallel line. Okay, say for example over here. Okay, so how is this parallel line? This parallel line is at equal distances from the other two parallel lines. That means this line is a third parallel line which is whose distance from the first parallel line and the second parallel lines are equal. So we need this equation of this particular line. Okay, let me write the equation over here. We know that these equations follow a condition, that is a1 by a2 equals to b1 by b2, which is not equal to c1 by c2. Which condition is we learnt in the 10th standard, correct? So because of this C1 and C2 only, this gap appears, correct? See, why am I saying is 3 3s are 9, 2 3s are 6, and because of this gap only, because of this difference only, there is a gap in the line, correct? So therefore what? We need to find the gap of these two, right? This equation and this equation, this equation, we need a gap. So that gap only will define. So that should be equal. So for that, let me make the equation look similar. That means 9x 6y minus 7, correct? Same way, I'll multiply this equation by 3. So when I multiply this equation by 3, I will get the equation 2 becomes, okay? Equation 2 becomes 9x plus 6y plus 18 is equal to 0. It is nothing but equation 2 only, but we want another equation, correct? So now you see, these all parallel lines have a common thing, 9x and 6y, 9x and 6y. Only difference is the C, correct? The C part. So what I will do, I will take a new required equation, okay? So I'll say, let the required equation be. So let me write it as 9x plus 6y. Since the C defines the distance between the lines, so we can write that as k, which is equal to 0. Let me label this as equation number 3. Okay, now according to the question, we know that distance between the equation 1 and equation 3 and equation 2 and equation 3 are equal, correct? So that given information only we are going to use. That is, so for this we know the distance formula between the parallel lines, that is d is equal to c1 minus c2 divided by root of a square plus b square. So this formula we are going to use. It is especially for the parallel lines. Now let us continue with the calculation, okay? Now distance of these two are equal, so I'm going to use only the formula part, c1 minus c2, okay? Equation 1, c1 is minus 7, okay? And c3 minus 7 minus k is equal to plus or minus 18 minus k I will get, okay? So accordingly we get two cases. So let us go with the first case. In the case 1, we will take positive sign, okay? You know how we got this positive sign, right? We had removed the modulus, so it will get two different signs. So if I take for positive case, it will be minus 7 minus k is equal to 18 minus k. So if I simplify, you can see here minus k and minus k will get cancelled. So minus 7 is equals to 18. So which is not possible. Okay, that means case 2 may work, correct? So let's work on the case 2. So in the case 2, what happens? We'll be taking negative. That means minus 7 minus k is equal to minus of 18 minus k. That means minus 7 minus k is equal to minus 18 plus k. Now if I bring k this side, I'll get minus 7 plus 18 is equal to k plus k. That means 2k is equal to 11. So k is equal to what? 11 by 2. So that means what? That means k is equal to 11 by 2 is the right answer. But now we want an equation, correct? So we are going to substitute this over here. So we will do that. Is in between these two lines and its distance from each of these lines are equal. Okay, that's it. Now let us solve question number 21. A ray of light passing through the point 1, 2 reflects on the x-axis at a point A, and the reflected ray passes through the point 5, 3. Find the coordinates of point A. Okay, so for this, let us draw the figure. Say for example, This is our x-axis. Okay, let me draw like this. It is the x-axis and y-axis, and there is one point 1, 2. From here the line enters, okay, and then gets reflect. Okay, now this is point, this is, let's say point, this point as point P, which is 1, 2, and this as point Q, so it is told that 5, 3. So what is happening? The ray is entering and reaching the x-axis at point A, and the coordinates of this, let us say it is h comma k, h comma 0 we can take. Okay, so and then it reflects and goes via AQ. So we know that law of reflection, we know, right? So angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection. So if I say this is a normal, so this angle theta and this is also angle theta, because angle of reflection is equal to angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection. So therefore these two angles are equal, and this is the point where the line gets reflected. Okay, so now according to this we are going to use the concept of slope. Solve this, we are going to take a help of slope concept. Okay, slope can be given by two different ways, correct? One is tan theta and another is y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. So both the formulas we are going to use. Okay, so to use that formula, first what we will do, we will take an angle, let me mark it as x. Okay, this as y. So let me take an angle XAPQ. Okay, if I say angle XAQ, that means that will give me angle. See, basically this normal is perpendicular to the x-axis, so therefore this angle is 90. So XAQ means in the 90-degree angle you are subtracting angle theta. Okay, so the next one, if you go to another angle, that is XAP. XAP, now the angle is what? This angle is 90. To the 90 we are adding a theta degree angle. So that means it is 90 degree plus theta. So angle we got, that means tan, we can take this angle, and other way around we can take this, correct? So let's work on this. So now let me say that, let me take a help of this angle now. Tan 90 degree minus theta is equals to, so this is which angle for this, correct? 90 minus theta. So if I write slope formula, it is 3 minus 0 by 5 minus h. Okay, so if I simplify it further, 90 minus theta goes to which quadrant? It is in the first quadrant, and since it is 90 degree, the trigonometric function changes, it becomes cot. So cot theta is equal to 3 by 5 minus h. Let us mark it as equation number 1. And next, if I take tan 90 degree plus theta, means for this line, correct? Now this is in the second quadrant. So you know what happens in second quadrant? The tan becomes minus cot, correct? So let me write the relation first. Now this is what? This will be 2 minus 0 by 1 minus h. So here tan 90 plus theta becomes minus cot theta is equals to 2 by 1 minus h. Now see here we have cot theta, here we have minus cot theta, right? Let me take negatives on other side. I will be getting cot theta is equal to minus 2 by 1 minus h. Now equation number 2. Now look at equation 1 and equation 2. They are having both cot and cot. That means basically these two are equal now. So in that next place, from 1 and 2, from 1 and 2, what I can say, 3 by 5 minus h is equals to minus 2 by 1 minus h. Do the cross multiplication. 3 into 1 minus h is equal to minus 2 into 5 minus h. Open the bracket, it becomes 3 minus 3h is equal to minus 10 plus 2h. So it becomes 3 plus 10 is equal to 2h plus 3h, which gives me 13 is equals to 5h. So therefore h is equal to 13 by 5. So 13 by 5 comma 0. That's an answer for this. Now let's solve question number 20. Now let us solve question number 22. What does it say? Prove that the product of the length of the perpendicular drawn from the points root of a square minus b square comma 0 and root of minus a square minus b square comma 0 to the line x by a cos theta plus y by b sin theta is equal to 1 is b square. So in this question, what actually they are saying, so there is one line. Okay, let me draw a line like this. This is the line, and the equation of this line is x by a cos theta, x by a cos theta plus y by b sin theta is equal to 1. To this line, there are two perpendicular lines are drawn. Okay, we will take them as d1 and d2. So what do you need to prove in this? We need to prove that d1 into d2 is equals to b square. So this is what we need to prove in this particular question. Okay, so as we already know that we are going to apply the distance formula, correct? So in both of these coordinates y is 0, correct? Fine. So we will take it as if y is 0, what I will get? It becomes d is equals to root of ax plus c divided by root of a square plus b square. So we are going to use this so that we can reduce one of the additional substitution. Okay, because from these two we know that y coordinate is 0, so it has been taken directly. So here we are going to substitute, means we are going to exclude the y. Okay, let us start with the substitution. So d1 is the distance from a to the line, correct? So let us take d1 first. So for the d1, what do I get? This is a, right? A is what? Ax. So x by a. So x value already we know, right? From the point a, correct? This will be in the modulus root of a square minus b square by a into cos theta plus, take one other, it becomes minus 1. Okay, so divided by under the root, it is cos square theta by a square plus sin square theta by b square. Fine. So this is the first part. So this is our d1. Okay, let us take it as 1. Let us take this negative sign common so that we can exclude the remove the negative sign from here. So if I take negative sign common in the root, the leftover is a square minus b square by a cos theta plus 1 and the bracket closed. So divided by, over here it is cos square theta by a square plus sin square theta by b square. So we know that if I take this, modulus of negative number will be equal to modulus of x, correct? So according to this condition, this sign will disappear. So I will get, so equation number 2. So from 1 and 2, what we can write? d1 multiplied by d2 we can take. As you can see, we are going to multiply d1 and d2, correct? So when you multiplying d1 and d2, let us have a quick look at it. See, a square minus b square by a cos theta minus 1, a square minus b square by a cos theta plus 1. Isn't it a minus b into a plus b formula, which is a square minus b square, correct? And over here, both the denominators are same and they are having the same root. So root also will get cancelled. So if I write it in a simplified manner, I can exclude one step, that is this what we get. So in the numerator what happens? Squaring becomes, it is a square minus b square cos square theta, okay, and denominator we have an a square, right? I'll take an LCM, so it goes here, so it becomes minus a square divided by a square, so whole divided by, here also I will take an LCM, I'll get b square minus b square cos square theta plus a square sin square theta divided by a square into b square. So now you can see a square and a square we can cancel, and this b square can be shifted to the numerator because reciprocal, correct? So next I can replace this, I can remove this a square, no? See, in the denominator we have sin square cos square. Here we have b square cos square and I square cos square. So this a square cos square, if it becomes sin square, means we can do some calculation part, right? So for that I'm going to substitute for cos square, okay? So if I substitute for cos square, it is b square into cos square can be written as a square into 1 minus sin square minus b square into cos square minus a square divided by denominator as it is a square b square. So as you can see here, this a square and a square we can cancel and they both are having negative sign. I'll take negative sign common. So if I do that, b square in the bracket, let me arrange it in the same order, okay? That is a square sin square theta plus b square cos square theta divided by denominator can be written in same order, that is a square sin square theta plus b square cos square theta. Now you can see the numerator, this particular part and this particular part are equal, so you can go for cancellation. So therefore we can say distance, the product of distances is equals to b square, okay? That's the proof. So this is our last question of the miscellaneous exercise, that is 23rd question. A person is standing at junction or a crossing of two straight paths represented by equations 2x minus 3y plus 4 is equals to 0, 3x plus 4y minus 5 is equal to 0, wants to reach the path whose equation is 6x minus 7y plus 8 is equal to 0. In the least time, find the equation of the path that he should follow. So according to this question, this point P is a crossing or a junction where the lines, okay, these two paths meet. So equation of the path is given here, okay. And there is one more path, that is 6x minus 7y plus 8 is equal to 0, where he want to reach and shortest possible time. That means what? To reach in a shortest time, he should follow a shortest distance. That means a perpendicular distance, correct? So therefore, angle between this line and this line is 90 degree. So if I want to find the equation of this line, I will need the coordinates of point P, x comma y, which I can get by solving these two equations. So I know the point and I can get slope from this point, correct? Because this line and this line are perpendicular. The product of slopes of these two lines is -1. So I get this slope. So then I can use slope point form, correct? By using that, I can get the equation of this, okay? Now let us first find the coordinates of point P, x comma y by solving these two equations. So we got the points, coordinates of the point P minus 1 comma 17 and 22 by 17. Okay. Now we can find the slope of this line. Okay. To find the slope of this line, let us write first m1. m1 is equal to minus a by b. That means my a is 6 minus 6 by minus 7. So therefore I can write m1 is equal to 6 by 7. So since lines are perpendicular, since PQ is perpendicular line, so how can I write it? M2 is equals to the same thing, but it's a reciprocal and negative, correct? I can write it M1 into M2 is equal to minus 1. So therefore M2 is equal to what? 6 by 7. When you transfer it becomes 7 by 6. So there is a negative sign. So it becomes what? Minus 7 by 6. So now we have got the point and we have got the slope. So we are going to use point slope form. So let us continue with this now. Now we have got this, right? Now let me take 6 other side. So that is 17y minus 22 into 6 is equal to minus 7 into 17x plus 1. Open the bracket. So this is the equation. Okay, that's the final answer.